And we're live. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Coming at you from the hottest garage studio. It is triple digits today here, so it is gonna be sweaty. I do have a fan on the ground blowing it like full speed. You can probably see, I don't know, no, you can't see it, but if my shirt's looking puffier than normal, I've got air blowing up at me, so the noise cancellation usually drowns out any audio that would come from this, but if you do hear it, it's a problem, let me know and I can lower the fan or maybe move it or something like that. But hoping it keeps me from melting on stream. That is the goal, no melting. Hey Tuxedo, hey Clown, hey Lord Git, hey Mad Mike, hey Hastios, hey Greenbeard. So quick updates. We have got the shed being installed next Wednesday. It was supposed to be next Tuesday, but they had a delay and I said that's fine. So I will still be streaming, but I will be probably slightly more distracted at the banging sounds coming from outside here. Also, fingers crossed that this is the last stream that we do without air conditioning. I have the mini split showing up today. Before the stream started, I was out there just trying to remove a couple inches of dirt. I'm basically just going to put down some landscape fabric and like 3 or 4 inches of road base and compact it. And I'm just using a thin plastic pad for basically underneath it and then some rubber feet, which should be fine. The biggest issue, I thought about so much stuff when it came to this mini split install. The one thing I completely neglected to realize when I started planning out the electrical and the location of it, like last August or something like that, is that the dryer vent is right there. So the condenser unit has to go in that corner. It's the only spot for it, but it basically only gives it like 16 inches from the dryer vent. Now the dryer vent is basically in the crawl space of this house and it does point downward, not up or straight, it's downward. But I am going to relocate the dryer exhaust 10 feet or 12, I haven't done the exact measurement, 10 to 15 feet further to the next crawl space exhaust unit. I don't like the crawl space at all. It is my least favorite place to be, I think. And so I did call an HVAC guy to get a quote of like, hey, what would it cost to basically extend the rigid pipe and move it to another spot? And they were supposed to come today at 2 o'clock right after the stream. And I got a call this morning basically saying like, hey, I can't quote you on this. We're too busy. We don't have enough guys. And I said, okay, well, like, when could you come out? And he said, I don't know, man, maybe like sometime in fall. So it took a lot in me not to be snarky back, but it basically concluded that I am not going to contract it out. I'm just going to crawl down there and see. I did some measurements and it looks like the pipe is currently like 10 feet. And I think what I read was for like standard code is like 30 feet distance. And then anything beyond that, you need sort of an extra inline fan. And I think that I should have enough space to basically remove where it's attached, pivot it, so that way it's going towards the, like, not this direction, but that direction, and then adding an additional 10 feet or so. It's not going to be fun, especially being in the crawl, but it's what I'm going to end up doing. So hopefully, yeah, I'm going to install the mini split and worry about the dryer after. Aaron and the kids are visiting family in Arizona, so I am in control of when the dryer is running right now, and I just won't run the AC unit when I've got the dryer vent on, so that way there's no lint or anything like that. Bearded Printer, thank you so much for the donation. Beard is coming along nicely. I appreciate it. It's getting to that point now. I can't zoom in any further, but like, it's getting to that point now where like I haven't done anything except let it grow and like shave right here. And it's very, if I take a shower, it's very like, very bushy, very sort of Saint Nick or Santa Claus. So I do need to, at the very least, like trim it downward, but I am not great at beard maintenance, and so I've just been neglecting it. Yeah. What kind of conduit is it for the dryer vent? It's basically, it's rigid. It looks like it's rigid galvanized pipe. I think it's pretty large. So this is, hold on. We'll get started in just a second here. It's crawl space. Called a plumber's vent. So this is the exact product that is currently on the vent that I'm going to be getting another one of. So on the back side, number 4, is that saying it's 4 inches? I think that's saying it's a 4-inch diameter. So yeah, 4-inch diameter galvanized pipe is what's down there. So it's my Odysseus beard. I don't know what, I'm going to Google what that looks like. Hold on. Odysseus beard. Yeah, I guess that is from Homer's Odyssey. That's exactly what it is. So, yeah, from what I've seen, it looks like it's pretty simple. The joints just get connected basically with foil tape, and then every X amount of feet, you need some sort of like straps that I think I'll basically just drill into the floor joists to keep the pipe up. And then, yeah, I don't think it's gonna be that bad. I need to go down there and get a little bit better of an idea. I'm not gonna remove the current unit is drilled into concrete, so I'm just gonna leave this one in place, disconnect it from the back, and then get a second one of these and install it in the new location. So this will still be here, like where it's at right now. There just won't be a pipe. I'll probably just cap the back of it. This doesn't open unless there's airflow, but I'll still probably, for the inside of it's easily accessible, just cap the back with something to prevent any sort of critters from hopefully getting through there. So we'll see how it goes. Everyone keep your fingers crossed. I've watched so many videos. I went to YouTube University for the last, I feel like 6 months researching everything, so I feel pretty good about most of it, but watching stuff and doing stuff, as I'm sure all of you know from even watching my videos, it's always like some slight things you run into. So we'll see, we'll see what kind of stuff we get into. I did some of that galvanized conduit. It's not complicated at all. Yeah, the biggest thing is going to be just being, I think the crawl space is 24 inches and it's very dark and dusty, and I was crawling on my stomach yesterday. I had my mom on the phone because my parents came over for dinner last night, and I was like, I'm gonna go down there when you guys leave. And mom's like, don't you want to do it with someone's here in case something happens? And I didn't really think about it before, and I was like, yeah, you're probably right. So I'm like crawling down there. I got my mom, she's sitting on the couch up here and like on speakerphone. I'm like, hey, like, yeah, it's not too bad down here. And I look to the right and see like a small spider eating like another bug, and I'm like, okay, we're just gonna keep going. So definitely not my favorite place to be, but the work itself doesn't seem bad. It's just the location of being down there. I want to make sure that like I have all the tools as much as possible I need, so I'm not having to crawl in, crawl out, crawl in, crawl out. So anyways, we'll leave it at that. Just need some self-tapping metal screws, cordless drill, and aluminum tape. Yeah, that's primarily what I saw as well. Hey Gergman, hey Troy, hey, I think I said hi to Clown. Hey John Beck, hey, I think I said hi to Viking as well, but it's got a lot going on. Going on right now. So I am very excited because we are doing a new build. We are not building a printer. We have not built much things other than printers on this live streaming channel. I'm trying to think. We built like printer peripherals, but nothing. I don't think we've done anything that's like just not a printer. So we are building this absolute tank of a unit. So this is the UNIMOG Casadio build, and it comes in a few different flavors. There's a four-wheel version, a six-wheel version, and there's a camper add-on. The camper add-on looks absolutely ridiculous. I love the lights and all the details. I just know that with how long this is going to take me, plus the added weight of this, and I don't know if I want to, like, for fun, throw stuff on the back of this or play around with that. We're doing the flatbed. So we're doing a 6x6 flatbed. It's a ton. Did you tie a rope to your leg in case they can pull me out? No, I did not tie a rope to my leg. Maybe next time I'll do that. Hey Danny, and water. Yeah, that is a great call. Hey Beads, I was sneezing like crazy when I came out of there yesterday, so I'll probably also put on at least just like a not a full-blown respirator with cartridges, but at least some sort of like a dust shield or dust. I mean, luckily the house isn't, it's only a couple years old, so there's not a ton of stuff down there, but we did have pest guys down there one time, so I know that there has been mice down there, and I probably shouldn't be breathing in all that stuff. So I will have a headlamp, a backup light, a cover on my mouth and nose, and yeah, hopefully the tools I need. I brought the skateboard down there because I watched a video of some guy using a skateboard to get around, and I don't know that I can do that in my crawl space, but the idea of just like skateboarding through the crawl space was really appealing to me. Steve, what's going on, buddy? Thank you so much, man, for the 50 months. You probably missed a silly story about me crawling through my crawl space yesterday with my mom on speakerphone to make sure nothing happened to me. Pretty full size. I need a new truck. You got it. Hey, Lisa. Oh, I did build the headphones. You're right. That was a long time ago. We did the oh gosh, what are the headphones called? Someone will 3D. No, 3D sets is the cars. Oh, someone tell me what they're called. I can't think of them right now. What we did. All right. Can find a single reseller. They got the kit in Europe. Interesting. I wonder if it's just because it's a pretty new build. So anyways, let me get a little more details with this. So we're building the 6x6 flatbed version. It will be an RC, like we're doing the remote control. I think you can build it as a not remote control version, but we want to drive this thing. It's a ton of printing. It's a ton of printing. I don't know how much material I've used yet. I know I've gone through a full spool of polycarbonate, carbon fiber, and maybe a fourth of a spool of another one. I've gone through, I think maybe a full spool of PETG and a partial spool of another one. I've still got quite a bit of printing to go. So it's a lot of filament. It's a lot of parts. LDO, big shout out to LDO. They did provide the kit. You can self-source this, but if you can get the kit, I think that I would be shocked if you can save money by self-sourcing. Usually from sort of the quantities of scale and just LDO having ties because they make kits and buy lots of things in bulk for putting together kits. I'm sure that you'll have, with shipping and stuff, probably a more challenging time, but you can if you wanted to self-source. So the game plan for today is basically to go through what comes with the kit and then start working on the frame. That is what Hedamame, that's right. In my defense, that is not the easiest name to remember. So a respirator restricts your breathing and could make things uncomfortable during physical efforts. It's a two-sided coin. Wait, you think that having like a painter's mask on is gonna make it difficult to breathe? I agree with a full-blown respirator, but I feel like with the painter's, like, whatever they're called, it's like a basic 3M mask, it shouldn't be that bad. We'll see. But yeah, let's go ahead and see what's all included, and then I'm very excited to actually get building. So for starters, these are the tires. I think you can technically print out the tires yourself, but these are, I don't know if they're true, if they're rubber, but they certainly feel like rubber. They've got a lot of flex. They're incredibly soft. And just for like scale purposes, here's my face. I have a big head. Like in my family, I have by far the biggest head. But like, if I put this in front of my face, we have 6 of these. So if that gives you any sort of idea of the scale, it's ridiculous. It is absolutely bonkers. So I think I can shove this tire back in there. We don't really need that for right now. This is our hardware and cables. There is a ridiculous amount of screws. It's a lot of M2 screws, and I think it's largely all self-tapping into plastic. So I was warned well in advance due to the sheer quantity of screws that, and I think it's even in the manual, that you can get some pretty serious wrist strain, and they don't recommend hand tightening everything. So Steve recommended this, like, gosh, I don't know. I feel like it had to have been 4-ish years ago at this point. So this is the Hoto electric screwdriver that has a few different levels to it, and I did fully charge this, so hopefully that will allow us to save our wrists. I think the plan is basically to get the screw mostly tight with that and then hand tighten the last couple turns. So we'll practice a little bit with that. And then I did purchase hopefully the right size bits that we'll need to use this. I think there's an M2. There's got to be. This was like a big variety pack. I panicked like 2 days ago. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't think I have what I need. So I got these in. But yeah, basically just ridiculous amount of M2 screws, M2 nuts. That's really what this entire bag is. We've got some transparent PETG filament. I don't exactly know what this is for. It might be for some of the light covers, possibly. That's kind of the only thing I can think of. I think there's some acrylic as part of this build. Building the new family truck. Yeah, exactly. I figured that with the cost of vehicles nowadays, that if I could build Jackson his first truck, it would save me some money. So yeah, we've got clear PETG. So I haven't had to print anything with this yet, but I assume it's probably for lights. We've got lots and lots of bearings, tons of bearings. We've got some servo wires that are hopefully all the right length, and they've got, looks like what are these called? Like the XT6, XT10? No, it says on them XT60 connectors. These are like the same connectors I remember. Gosh, was it on like the Ender? I think it was the Ender 3 that used these from the power supply, but they were using knockoff ones, and they were not rated for what they were being used for. Anyways, funny story time. Actually, Jackson could ride it. Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard that the max payload of the truck is pretty wild. We've got some springs, which I'm guessing are likely suspension springs, which is wild. Also, full disclosure, I gotta just say this. I don't know a ton about cars, or trucks. So as we build this, There will be moments where people here that know a lot more about vehicles will think something is very obvious or I'm doing something silly, and we will laugh together because I have done oil changes. One time when I was in high school, helped a buddy change his spark plugs, and I've changed flats and changed light bulbs. Like, that is, like, I just, cars have never been something that I've dove into, and yeah, so I'm just full disclosure, like, there's gonna be silly things I'm gonna say, and you're gonna be like, oh my god, this guy, I'm being upfront. Being upfront. Those are ubiquitous in DC RC. A lot of bad quality XTs as well. Okay. We've got tons of grease, so lots and lots of grease, so you shouldn't need grease. I mean, we have tons of grease here, but we got some more bearings, tiny bearings, MR63s. We've got, ooh, these are, I think, also for our suspension, if I'm not mistaken. These are pretty. Shocks, yeah, so suspension related. These are cool. Let's take a look at one of these. Are these like all greased up nicely? Yeah, that's fine. We'll take one out. Okay. So, yeah, we've got, it reminds me, actually, the closest thing I've ever used that this reminds me of are the arms of like a Delta printer. You've got sort of the pivoting end pieces, although obviously there's no spring joints to it. But yeah, we've got these guys, which I think are like anodized aluminum. They look pretty nice. So we've got these guys. I will keep these in here. What else do we have? We've got another set of LDO drivers, which is cool. I've got quite a few of these. I think these came with like the Micron kit and probably another one, but you can never have too many of those. What else do we've got here? I don't know what this is. Somebody here will probably know. 500 Falcon RC Diff HIM. It's quite... well, it's not super thick, but... Is this a lubricant as well, or is this the opposite of a lubricant? Is it an adhesive? I don't know what this is. Someone tell me. Anyways, it's in here. And then we've got a few more screws down there. Okay, let's throw this off to the side. What else do we have? Next up, we have got motors. Oil to fill the shocks. Got it. Thank you. Shock absorbent fluid. Okay. The shock fluid. Got it. Thank you. Hey, nice. Okay, so what do we got? We have got a brushless system for crawler. So this looks like probably just a DC, brushless DC motor. So hobby wing. Yeah, cool. Yeah, oh, I'm not gonna open that up right now. You can see the picture. We got a battery charger. Let's see what that looks like. Oops. So this has, got the AC power supply. This, I'm assuming, what is this? Balance charger and voltage detector. Cool. Neat. And then we've got our little alligator clamps, right? Is the technical term for these? Aren't these, or maybe alligator, I think they're called alligator clamps. If they're not, they certainly should be, but pretty sure alligator clamps, like the same thing that's on, well, not same thing, because there's only one connection, but similar to what you use on your, like, I've got a DC power supply tester upstairs. Diff oil or shock oil. Got it. Okay. That makes sense. It does say diff on it. So I'm just going to take this out. I'm not going to be able to get all this neatly back in that box. So let's just leave that in here. Chuck that guy out. What else do we have? We've got motor flange. Nice. Thank you so much. Hey, honey. Aaron's in chat. Yeah, I said Aaron and the boys are in Arizona for a few weeks. It is quiet here. I have been keeping myself busy, and so I've been largely distracted and playing music. But man, at nighttime it is so weird having the house just like no noise at all. So, and we got 2 servo motors. It looks like. Let's take a quick look at these guys. Oh, cool. They're LDO. I don't know if LDO manufactures them or just, yeah, LDO branded 20 kilogram, 180 degrees, 7.4 volts. So kind of in that same or similar blue anodized coating that the shocks were in. Is Jackson watching? If so, can we get a hi Jackson in chat? I gotta say, if he is watching, I gotta say, hey Jack, we're finally building that truck that you've been asking about. I showed him the tires, but look how big the tires are. The big, oh, 30 months. Holy cow, Rob, thank you so much. I was like, wait, what do you mean big 3-0? Alligator clips, not clamps. That makes sense. It's intended to clip on a sling, not permanently or fix something. Okay, alligator clips. I was close. I got the right animal. Nice with the 5 get the memberships. Thank you so much, buddy. I don't know if you heard, but the mini split is supposed to show up today. So hopefully by next Wednesday we've got cool air blowing in here. The only complication is I have to reroute a dryer vent that's like 18 inches from it. And I am going to worry about the mini split first, and then I'll worry about basically rerouting that later. I tried contracting it out, or at least getting a quote on it, and it was supposed to have someone come today, and they just called this morning and basically said like, yeah, I can't quote you on this, we're too busy. If you want, we can reach out in fall. So that was the determining factor that I just need to figure out how to do this myself. So Hobo with the 30 months too. Holy cow, man. A lot of old timers in here, man. Thank you so much. That's crazy. Thank you very much. Hey, Joe's here. Joe got to get the membership. Oh, let me see. Yeah. So Joe got to get the membership. Captain Dave got one. Sliver. Yeah, Sliver Bear. Scouty and Betsy. Yeah. You'll see Daniel, and it's not a big job at all. Trust me. Yeah. The biggest thing I got to figure out is so the replacement vent gets drilled into either like the wood trim around the crawl space, or they drilled some of it into the concrete. But on the other one, I can show you actually real quick. You guys give me some. Oh, my dad tried calling me. Here's the other one. Yeah, let me show you guys this. Maybe someone will have some input. So this is, can you guys see that? Yeah. So this is currently where like the dryer vent is coming out of. And so the mini split is basically going to be on just a small, it's like a plastic pad, but I am doing at least like a crushed gravel base and stuff like that. But it'll be like 18 inches in front of it. It's the only place they can go. So for this guy, they just sort of used concrete screws to screw it in there. But if I go to this one, which is where I want to move it to, so I clearly have to replace the insert with one that's got like half the vents, but there's no screws. There's basically this wood trim around it. So I'm wondering if they screwed this in, like, when the house is being built from the crawl space outward. And if that's the case, then I'll need to get in there and see how easy it is to remove it. And then for the new one, I'm sure I'll just screw it in from the outside in, because that's a lot easier to service or access later on than having to go in the crawl. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'll keep you guys updated. How is gas powered? You have a code for this. So for the mini split, I am not like the dryer vent. Like for the dryer vent, the code requirement I saw was either 30 or 35 feet, and each 90 degree subtracts 5 feet, and each 45 degrees subtracts 1.5 or 2 feet. But from what I saw, if the manufacturer has a further like spec for it, then you can go based off that. And I think when I looked at our dryer, it had quite a bit further of a spec, but I still would like to keep it as short as possible, using as few connecting pieces as possible, and just use galvanized, like rigid 4-inch pipe. For the mini split itself, the electrical work, as far as getting the electrical routed to where it's going, I did have an electrician do that. So I'm just basically connecting the wires from the quick disconnect to the mini split. And then the only other thing I had to do was I did swap out the breaker. When they installed this, they installed a 30 amp breaker, and the requirement for the mini split was a maximum of 25 amps. So I did swap out the double breaker for a 25 amp earlier in the week. So yeah. Do you get snow? I do get snow, but the plastic pad is like 3 inches tall, Plus, we have another couple inches of like vibration dampeners before the unit starts. So I think I'll be like 6 or 7 inches above like grade. And we don't get a lot of snow. If there is a time where we get more than that, which is really rare, it usually melts super quick, then I will either have to just move the snow, it's right here outside the window, or I just won't run the heat pump. I do have an electric heater right here that I can tap into, which isn't amazing, but the primary thing I want the mini split for really is summertime, because it's just brutal. It's just brutal in here. So, hey Rod, hit sub 3-minute benchy. Holy cow. I gotta see a photo of that. Okay, here is our battery. Pretty big size battery. That's funny, man. I've never used one of this style battery, but a buddy of mine that did a bunch of videography back in the day, he had a bunch of those strapped onto his gimbal. So we have got a 3,200 milliamp battery. It looks like it is that temperature rating? So 35 Celsius and 11.1 volts. That's what it seems like. So cool, that's our battery. Definitely pretty beefy. I don't have much for comparison, but it seems like a pretty beefy battery. Be close to me, I'd totally come over and help you install it. Tuxedo, if I live close to you, I would absolutely call you. Even if it was just to hold the rope in case something happened to me, so you can pull me out, man. I really appreciate it. Yeah, no, I would love to be able to be like, hey, like, does somebody want to come over and help? But yeah, I'm sure I will get it. When I crawled down there yesterday, I went like, it's on the opposite side of where our crawl space insert is, or like door, which is unfortunate. So I crawled to like where the kitchen wall starts, but it's on the farthest wall. So I saw that it was rigid pipe, and I got a rough estimation of the current length of it to see whether I could extend it. But I didn't see how it was connected on the inside. So tomorrow when my parents come over, they're heading back to California soon, but tomorrow they're gonna come over again, and I'm hoping I can get at least that so I can place a place a list together for a shopping cart. Okay, so we got some more translucent PETG. This one I know is definitely for light covers, so that's pretty cool because I do have a bunch of different PETG filament, but I don't have like specifically translucent in like this. So we've got that, and then we've also got another spool of, or I guess spool's maybe not the right word, a coil of transparent. That says yellow. That is not a yellow. I think that maybe that's just a labeling error. Hopefully we didn't need yellow. But yeah, that is. I'm not the best with colors. That is, that is orange. So we got some orange. Sorry, I'm on the campsite. Internet is dead. Oh, dude, you're still on vacation, dude. Nice. Enjoy your vacation, man. I appreciate you stopping by. I forgot you were. I know last week you said you were doing a vacay. I didn't realize you were still there. And then we have got our digital proportional radio control system. I have never ever used a remote anywhere like this, so quite excited. I'm looking forward to driving this. I know Jackson's excited. I showed my dad this, and he was like, dude, that looks awesome. So I know he's gonna want to take this out and drive it as well. So yeah, FSGT5. And here, I'll take it out of this little cover. Yeah, here it is. It's got a screen on top. This thing looks so freaking cool, man. I'm very excited. Like, obviously, I keep saying that, and I'm sure you can tell, but I'm really looking forward to both the build process, of course, but actually getting to do some cruising around with this truck. So, yeah, it's definitely orange. Hey, Delmar. So also, I did just want to say that as far as building this goes, I have no scale of time as far as long this is going to take. I'm pretty sure Jason, I have to look back at our messages. I'm pretty sure Jason told me that, I could be wrong, but I think he said like 3 streams. I think this could probably be 20 streams realistically. So what we're probably going to do is we're going to stream it for a bit. Steve and I have something planned. I don't want to say like details on it yet because we still need to hash out some of the final stuff on it, but we've got something cool coming up. So I don't know if when that break's happening, I'll do some building off stream or just take a break and resume. We'll see, but there's a chance that the entire build won't be fully done on stream. I'm just giving you guys a heads up. We will definitely do a fair bit of it on stream, and the plan is that I will likely do a final video on the actual main channel, kind of covering, just showing it off, talking about what it was like. But we probably won't do probably won't do the full thing on stream. Just letting you guys know. I just want to make sure that I am each thing similar for the dragsters. Oh, cool. So yeah, with that being said, let's take a look at the build guide. So it is 1,000 pages, 1,008 to be exact, but does this cover? Okay, this covers the cabin as well, or like the extra piece that we're not doing. So for us, it's not quite 1,000. It's still a lot, but let's see how many pages it is. The extra like camper shell is very, very, very cool, and I highly recommend, even if you're not interested in building one, just taking a look at so I think this is what we're going up to, possibly. So 818 pages, I think so. Maybe not. What is this? This is cabin access. Yeah, so I'm not sure if we're actually doing all the lights and stuff, but it's a lot. It's a lot of pages, and yeah, we're gonna just kind of dive into it. It's gonna be long enough. You'll need to rename the channel to Modbots Garage. Yeah, we've now become like a car building / truck building channel. Okay, so this is a 17.4 scale truck. You are about to start one of the largest 3D printed RC kits ever designed, featuring more than 582 printed parts collected in 100 plate files. It's a slow build with the purpose of enjoying all details. Please note that this project has been made possible by a passion and dedication of a single person, which is absolutely insane. Like, it is crazy that one person made this. Like, I can't even give enough praise. Just a superhuman person. Mostly developed during free time and purely for entertainment purposes. Also just a wild fact. Even though I printed many prototype parts, you still may find some errors. I truly appreciate feedback. So, yeah, like I mentioned earlier, there's a 6x6 or 4x4 powertrain. We're doing the 6x6. Real access step guide is 1,000 pages. Carefully read all the information listed on the next 2 pages. And then there's also, yeah, YouTube channel, as well as, I'm doing the flatbed. Yeah, flatbed Delmar. Partially because of the added time it would take to do the cabin. Also, I just think I'll have fun with the flatbed, and I saw that the cabin adds a lot of additional weight, and so we're gonna do flatbed. And then there is a printing matrix, which I can pull up here, which is pretty cool, actually. Am I zoomed in a little bit, or is this just the way it is? I zoomed in a hair, but yeah. So basically, you've got the files aren't named anything other than numbers, but that works out pretty okay. Like here's all the STLs. They're literally just numbers. So you have like your reference guide, which shows, kind of the number, how much filament it will take, what color group out of the different filaments, a picture of it, layer height, walls, infill type and percentages, and does it need support. And then there's some additional details as well, like some things, like, if you're doing a 6x6, you need more than the 4x4 and stuff like that. But yeah, basically working my way through this. I have not gotten as far as I feel like I should have, considering how much printing I've done. I need to do these TPU guys. Maybe that will be, I'll do that by next week or something like that. But yeah, I got those printed, those printed, those printed, those printed, those printed. That is not printed. I got that printed, that printed, that printed. I'm here, so I need to print this. Basically that and onward. So yeah, I still clearly got a ways to go. So I plan to get 10 days off now. I am on day 7. Already worked. Oh wow, you've had to work. Got it. Okay. Wife is not really happy with it. Are you? I'm sorry to hear that, man. Instead of skateboard carrying stuff in the crawl space, you can use the MOG. That would be awesome. I could picture, like, if I set it up with an FPV camera, like having my dad drive it down there. Like, I need some stuff. Like, send it back for some water. That would be awesome. It would totally work down there. So yeah, we've got our printing matrix. All the parts have been saved on 101 printable files. The parts are ready with the best orientation. And then, yeah, this is the minimum required bed size, which is really small. So most printers can print these parts. Then you've got your, like I said, you don't have to do an LDO kit. If you want to self-source, you can. So there is a BOM. There's a BOM if you do decide you want to go that route. It's a pretty big one. But yeah, there's the bomb. And then I mentioned this earlier, but there's a ton of screws, so they recommend a proper hardened screwdriver with an electric screwdriver. So all screws are self-tapping like I thought I saw before. Do not apply too much torque and remember to finish tightening them manually. So yeah, a lot of M2, some M3 as well. Just water, no shaken soda. Yes, just water. I wouldn't want a soda down there, man. If I'm down there and I need something to drink, I'm going for the water for sure. Okay, change log. Everything should be up to date. This build has been out for a bit now, and so I believe I am running all the latest stuff. And then for scale, you can see, I mean, 1007 millimeters. So it is. It's big. I'm gonna tell. Well, not tell, but yeah, the guest room is now gonna be referred to as the Unimog room after this build. And then yeah, here's the camper, which is very cool. They call it the Overland Pack. All right, so we are going to start with building the frame. So I think I don't need most of these things right now. I'm just gonna basically take out the hardware. You know, I am also gonna really quickly run upstairs. I just remembered I printed out a tray maybe a month or two back that will be perfect for these small M2, M3 screws. So I'm just gonna keep you guys on the mic because since it's just me here, I don't have to worry about any sounds or copyright music coming through. Hi, Monkey. You're okay, buddy. Yeah, Monkey's been lonely, man. He's been sleeping beside me and pretty much hanging out right next to me all week. There we go. Finally get to put this to use. Oops, excuse me, bud. All right. It's not quite as good as Steve's tray. The pockets are a little bit, compartments are a little bit deeper, but we'll see how easy it is to get parts out of here once we get low. But so here is our tray. So we will basically use this. And then I've got, let me move this out of the way as well. We've got, this is all pretty much PCCF parts, this big bag. You don't have to use PCCF. The creator actually uses like a PLA Plus for pretty much everything. But I had it and wanted to use it for some of the parts, and I figured because I have the filament, I might as well just burn through as much of the parts as I can in this, and then when I run out, I'll switch back to PTG. And I'm gonna do PTG for like all the colored parts and stuff like that. So, oh, I guess I will. I'm very distracted more than normal, I think, because there's nobody here but me. But I did get, so like a couple things I got for the mini split thing, since Nice is here as well. So the line is, I think it comes with a 17-foot line or something like that. So I'm gonna cut it down. My target is to get as close to 10 feet as possible. Basically on the outside, I'm gonna run it. Can you see my hand? Yep. So on the outside of the house, once it goes through the wall, it'll run that way and then down. So I think I can get close to 10 feet. So this is a copper flaring tool. Basically will give me the flare that I need, so that way it will seal up against the other joint when I thread it in. So I did pick up that. For the wiring, I got what's called a whip. It's basically a flexible piece of conduit that will go from the quick disconnect into the mini split. 6 feet should be, probably have like an extra foot, but it was nice and came pre-done. I've got a bunch of mini split cover, so just I think it's just 3-inch, so like 3.25, so hopefully that'll work. I think it will. And then I also got this, so that way after I cut and flare it, I can vacuum the line to make sure I don't have any leaks, because the unit I went with is pre-charged. So once I release the Freon into the system, if there's leaks, I'm going to be in a lot of trouble, because I would have to call an HVAC tech, and I've heard HVAC techs do not like to do anything with like DIY style splits. So we'll see how it goes. Wish me luck. That needs more fillet. Oh, you're talking about this? This guy needs more fillets? Or no? Or the flaring tool? I think you're talking about the flaring tool, which is, I think it's intended to be a joke. I just didn't catch when you put that in chat. It's got all the fillets, Steve. Okay, let's get started then. So everything we're going to be needing is, let me go here. Everything we're going to be needing is in this first bag. So let me take out these parts. Remember to put the call out on the tube before flaring. Yes, I did. Like I said, I watched a ridiculous amount of videos and saw a few people mention that. I'm hoping I don't forget to do that. And I know in my head I need to do that first, but it'll just depend on how tired and distracted I am. It's never really a good idea to do anything new when you're tired and distracted. So this looks like one of the pieces that we need. I'm just kind of looking at the 4 holes here, 4 holes here, 1 there, 1 there, 1, 3. Yeah, this looks like one of the right pieces. And the other piece looks like, doesn't look like that, doesn't look like that, doesn't look like that. Where's the other piece? Is it this guy? Looks like this guy. So this piece is going to be turned like that and go into it like this. Okay. Okay, and we are using what? M210. So let's get that. I'm also going to turn off, oops, I'm going to turn off the autofocus because it's going to go bananas now that my hands are in the view. You need to deburr the copper. Be careful, really important, and be sure you have enough contacts. Wait, are you saying deburr the copper after I flare it? Use the deburring tool to remove any sharp edges. Is that what you're saying? Okay, M210s. That's what I said, right? All right, let's get into this bag. M210s. I don't know. Maybe I will just keep the screws in the bags for now. Oh, these are so small. Okay, let's see if I've got the right. Bits. So this is going to be probably this size. Nope. This size. Yep. Okay. What filament? This is Polymaker PETG. So I don't know. Oh, that's ASA. What did I use? Why do I have ASA in there? Oh, no. So it's because before I got the PCCF, I was going to use ASA. So yeah, it's just Polymaker PETG. I think it's just like probably just Polylite. I don't remember. They've changed up their lines a few times, but yeah, just Polymaker Black PETG. That's all it is. That's what I went with for the frame. Okay, so let's see if we can get this to work. I'm going to just start on the lowest setting, and we'll just see if this goes in. Okay, that was awesome. that was I liked that a lot. Try not to go too tight. Curious to see how long the battery lasts on this guy. Hey, Deanna! Happy Wednesday. Yeah, I got this with the intent of using it for some like printer stuff when Steve told me about it, and I just never did. I think I used it for building a pretty big hold on, make sure these are tight but not too tight. I got a bunch of IKEA furniture some years ago, and I used this tool to assemble that, to help me assemble that. And that's pretty much what I've used it for. So I didn't know how well it was going to work with plastic like this. I do have it on just the lowest setting. I think that's how it works. So number 1. So that seemed to work for this. Okay. So yeah, first step is done. Let's see what is next. Next, we are doing 4 more pieces on the other end of this. And these look like, that is the opposite side. Look like this. Yes. Okay, so we're doing M210s, and we're doing the topmost left screws and then the bottommost. So, right. I can also, like, if you guys want a closer shot or something, let me know. This feels like a decent overview. It's a really big, you know, everything's gonna be really big, so if I'm zoomed in, you won't see a whole lot of it, so I figured this is okay. Hey, Westside. Good afternoon. Shammy has let me use his at Rocky Mountain a few times. It's this same tool. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember. I bought it, like I said, years ago, and I can't remember how much it was back then. I did look it up on Amazon just a couple days ago, and I think it was like $40-ish. It looked like they were having a sale on it, so I don't know if the sale's still going on and if it was even a good sale, but if anyone is interested in one, maybe check it out. If Steve's in chat, if Steve can drop a affiliate link or something, I definitely, if anyone buys one of these, Steve should get credit, because this was his tool discovery, like I wouldn't have this if it wasn't for Steve. But yeah, I had purchased the WoW stick. And I think I purchased a WoW stick because I saw, maybe it was Canik that had a WoW stick at one point. So I got that, and I think I used that for some stuff on the on one of the V0 builds. And I'm pretty sure that I was like complaining to Steve that it's just not powerful enough. And that's when he was like, oh, dude, the Hodo, man. Gotta get the Hodo. Okay, so yeah, it's not fully seating things, which I think is basically what we want, but it's saving me 90% of the, hand twisting. To be honest, I don't recommend this one for what you're doing. What? You're just saying with a slower speed setting? Okay, well, never mind. Steve doesn't recommend it then. It feels like, I mean, I'm sure I probably could strip it out even on one, but it feels pretty good. And it seems like it's tightening it to the point where, there's a couple turns left. Do you have a different unit that you're using for stuff like this then, Steve? Okay, so we got one more piece that looks like this. Yep. So 4 screws, it looks like it is top and bottom. So you think that but it's discontinued, Phil's been using one that he likes. Oh, got it. So you think that just because of the speed it's at, it's a little too fast, so it could make it a little bit more challenging to control when you're getting closer, to not go too far? Is that basically the main thing? You're saying this model was discontinued? Then maybe the one I saw on sale on Amazon wasn't this model. Maybe it's the new model, if it looks similar. Because I didn't really look too heavily into it, because I was more interested in seeing getting bits for it. But yeah, maybe that was the newer version. No, this is PETG is like the lowest temp filament I'm using for this. So yeah, it'll be PETG, PCCF, and then when I run out of PCCF, maybe some ASA, but probably not. It's probably just PETG and PCCF. Nice, thank you so much for the donation. Smash the like button, everybody. So I know that the Casadio, the creator of the project, has done like all of his testing, or I think not all, but a lot of his testing in PLA Plus, and says like it's totally fine to use that. So it must be okay. I didn't want to use PLA for certain, mostly for temperature just concerns. I don't know where this will get stored long term, but if it ends up being like in the shed on a hot day or something like that, I don't know. I just wanted at least PETG. Oh, the got it. The multi-speed one's discontinued. So this is the same one then. The one I saw is probably the same one. Okay. All right. Dude, the frame never ends. It just goes on and on. All right. So the next piece goes right here like that. And then it's just the closest floor. Make sure you have lots of room on that bench. Yeah, we might have to change things up. We might have to change things up at some point here. I probably don't need this quartz countertop bit right here, so I can move that. And I think this is 4 feet by 4 feet, so we should be fine. I just might need to maybe angle things and have the camera moved a little bit. We'll figure it out. Today I'm not too worried about it. We'll just make do. But yeah, as the beast grows, we'll have to probably get a little bit creative with positioning. Oh. Hey, Steve. I used a brushed M12 drill with a HFT hardened something treated Oh, you built one of these, Delmar? Yeah, I probably will need to move the keyboard. It's already like, we're already like, so I'm hanging off about 4 inches on the left side already, so. Oh, he's suggesting to build it on there. Harbor Freight, got it, okay. Yeah, I have a buddy that might be taking the Venture XL. I asked him about it last week and said I'd touch base with him this week, so we'll see. I just need the space. I just really need more space, and it takes up so much space. Okay, all right, so now I'm just gonna run through this to make sure. Repeat for the other side. Okay. So we're basically building 2 of the same frame. I think, why don't we build the other side first? And then we'll assemble them together. So, unless that's not a good idea. Let's follow the instruction manual in order. Let's follow the manual in order. Okay, we did that, No, we were here. So, we need now this piece. And now we're using M216, so we're using different screws. The one thing I'm a little bit, so these are all on the left side. Okay, so then they flip it. Got it. Okay. Nope, everything makes sense. Okay, M216s, that's what we need. M28s, M216s. Holy cow, this is a really big bag. I mean, like, just to show, this is just one bag of parts. No, we're not in autofocus. There are 523 M216s. That is wild. Once I'm done with the Impreza build, the MOG has to be the next one. It looks really fun to build. How's the Impreza build coming along? Is this double bagged? Yeah, it is. Are there resellers selling the kit in Europe? I don't know. I do not know about Europe. I think someone said earlier no, or that they weren't available. Maybe they're out of stock. I'm not entirely sure. I've only looked in the States. I know Fabrico has it. KB3D has it. I don't know if West 3D does. I didn't actually look. Okay, so yes, so this is going in here. Oops, so we'll get these started. Quartz frame is good for assembling the frame sides. After that, it's just gonna get in the way. Yeah. Yeah, I will be ditching it. Okay, so how am I going to do this? I think I will have these go in a little bit more. Maybe like that. And then try to align these. No, let's go a little bit further. Haven't found the kit in the UK yet. That seems like that's as tight as it wants to go. Yeah, that's as tight as it's going. Okay, so that piece is on. Then we have got 2 of these with M28s. That's a different screw size again. 2/8. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, directionally these go. Okay, so these go like this. I can't believe one person. I can't believe one person created this. Like that. Really just blows my mind. It's just, it's nuts, man. Okay. How's everybody's week been going? That is spinning. Why are we still spinning? It's not very tight. Bottom one feels pretty tight. Top one, not super tight. Hopefully it's fine. Okay. There's quite a few other models. Yeah, I don't understand how can one person do this. It just doesn't make sense to me. All right, so this one's got 2 as well. Really hot, but good. What's oh yeah, because you don't have. I think we discussed this last week, right? You don't have AC. I think you said last week that it was it 90 that it was supposed to get up to? Really try not to go all the way in with these, so that way I can make sure I've got enough to thread onto. So far so good. Printing parts for my, oh cool, for 3D Printopia, and fun tuning StarTech TPU Air for its tracks. Nice. What color scheme are you doing for that build? Check part orientation. All right, for these we need M216s, which we do have out. Those are, oh, the big bag. M216s, we need 3 of these guys. Sorry, Tech, PPA, I don't think I've used their PPA jet. I love their fillet, man. 90 is not really hot. Well, without AC, it's pretty hot, man. Without AC, it's pretty hot. Invert of mine. Oh, cool. White, black versus black, white. Okay, so for these pieces, it looks like this sort of lip needs to be facing inward or outward, or one side needs to face up, other side needs to face down. So like that, we're creating a sandwich of the two. And then we are screwing them in from the top like this, and we're doing all the holes except for the uppermost one. So let's try that. Yeah, we picked up bikes. Wait a minute, did I screw that up? M216. The screws pop through on that. Is it supposed to? Trying to see if there's a different shot where I can see whether the screws are supposed to be popped through like that. It does say M216, so what do we think? There's just quite a bit of like so you can see the screw sticking out a little bit, but I still have quite a bit to go on this side. See, it's interesting. I did use M216s. That is the largest size I've taken out. The calipers, just want to measure what the thickness is. Where would I have put you? I just used calipers. Where did I put that? Oh, here they are. Hey, Raj. So yeah, these parts are only 14 millimeters thick, so it does say 16, so there should be a couple mil sticking out. So we'll just assume it's correct at this point. I feel like that's something that would have gotten caught. So yeah, we'll just go ahead and do all of these. Ooh, non-opening windows. Doesn't sound great. I would have blackout curtains. I would have blackout curtains on those windows. We have blackout curtains in like every bedroom here and up in the studio, and I just went with like whatever the cheapest ones were on Amazon, and they've been great. Last I measured 132? 132 Fahrenheit? That's probably the hottest I've ever heard of. Okay. We got those guys. And now these are going into the front of this. And they're going into it like this. Okay, I'm gonna move you guys a little bit. Yeah. So this is going, laying down, and these are M216s. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm getting a Core 1L. Oh, nice! That's awesome. Are you doing Core 1Ls? Do they come as kits or no? They're just fully assembled. I can't remember. I feel like they only come fully assembled, right? I've heard really good things about the L. Is your plan to do index on it eventually, or you haven't really thought that far ahead? I've been laying really low, but I did see that there's a lot of stuff with index regarding, I think, largely the hardened nozzles, or lack of hardened nozzles. But it looks like they sort of corrected that. No kits with the mains beds. Got it. Okay. Got it. Can you start over? You got it, John. We're building the Unimog truck. This is, I don't even know if this is the full length of the frame. I think it's probably pretty close to it, but this is the size of like one of the frame pieces. I mean, I'll show you, John, you gotta see the tire. If you haven't seen it, you might have seen these in person. You go to a lot of events, but if you haven't, dude, let me pull out a tire for you. Put it up against my face. Ah. Look at this thing, man. Look at that. It's huge. It's huge, man. I hope you're doing well. They have to be fully assembled. Got it. Yeah, okay. So you basically just hook it up. Hey, Jim. That's awesome. That's going to be a really, really cool printer. Is it replacing a printer, or are you just adding it to like sort of the lineup? Okay, repeat for the other side. So I think we will build the frame and then attach it once that like side frame is built. I don't think we'll build it piece by piece. So like, let's basically just go back to the front here and start from here, but with the other pieces. So this goes like this, and then this piece goes like this. We're using 4 M2x10s. That's cool. I'm going to print and build from print. Going to print and build. Wait, I can't tell if your sentence is messed up or if it's me. Hold on. I'm going to print and build from Mushroom 3D on Colts. What is that? I don't know what that is. Hey, RK, I just recently finished the axles on the build. It's massive, such a fun project. Oh, nice. I think I did see, I haven't really been on X much, but I think I did see that you posted your building one of these. What materials and what color scheme did you go with, man? All right, M210s. You've also, I think I've seen over the years that you've posted a couple, like, you've done a few of the 3D sets builds in the past, haven't you? And you're waiting on a recourse from Bontech regarding future availability of the hard nozzle and that they might do to make things right. Yeah, I try to avoid and just lay low on trauma as much as possible, but it was the only thing I saw getting posted over like a 48-hour period, so it was hard to not read about it. I hope they're able to make things right. I'm building the 6x6. Oh yeah, so I do have an additional section. Maybe I should have done the 4x4, but yeah, no, I'm too far in it. I've printed out the pieces. Yeah, we're doing a 6x6. Oops. Yeah, I forgot there was an additional section after. If you're doing 6x6, print this. So you're right. It will be a fair bit longer. I've showed Erin a video of this, like the Casadio's video, and told her, you know, how big it's gonna be, but I don't think she'll fully grasp it until she sees it come together. And then I'll probably get then maybe I'll get some eye rolls. Maybe. We'll see. She knows I'm pretty pumped on this. Adding to my inventory, it will be, oh, nice. You need to start a print farm. Okay, got it. So 7, yeah. 7 printers in. First Prusa, or have you had Prusas before? I did PPACF for all the gears and drive shafts. PLA for the frame, ASACF for some of the drivetrain parts. Nice, okay, so like a pretty good big hodgepodge. PPACF, yes, you did really high temp material. I did, so the frames, I'm doing just PTG. It was going to be PTG and ASA, but because I got PCCF in, I did like all the drivetrain in PCCF. I've heard mixed things about how the gears are going to do with PCCF, or yeah, with carbon fiber, not necessarily PC. PC probably fine. It's the CF aspect of it, and like some of the coarseness of it. But I've also seen quite a few companies that I trust claim that certain other CF filaments are great for gears. So I'm curious to see how it'll go. We're going to try it. If the gears all break apart on me, then I will revisit it. The initial plan was PCCF for the outside and then nylon 12 for the gears, which I do think is a better option. However, I wasn't able to get nylon 12 in. I think when I placed an order from Polymaker, they were out of stock or something like that. And I know from my past experience that printing just like straight up PA12 sort of sucks. Like, it's really hygroscopic and it likes to warp like crazy. So I just decided, let's try this and see how it goes. I didn't want to deal with fighting all this warping, all the gears, and fighting all this moisture, especially with just the sheer quantity of gears that are required for this build. So we'll see if I regret it. Black and olive, drab green for my colors. Nice. Nice. I still haven't decided. I haven't printed out any of the color parts yet. I was going to let Jackson choose, but I'm thinking I might go with the electric blue PTG. We'll see. Nylon is good. Just need a G10. Yeah. I do have, not for the Prusa, which is what I was like putting everything on, but I do have a G10 plate, I think for one of the bamboo printers. Glue stick, like you said, also works fairly well. It'd be a fun ride for a mini modbot. Yeah, I'm curious to see if it can really carry them. I've ordered the tool changer for my core one. Oh, nice. That's awesome. Super cool. I use PAHTCF for the drive. Okay, you haven't had any issues with it, but PLA Max works for Edge of 3D. This was a Srytech PPACF. It prints really nicely. Tossed in the dryer for a day before I print with it. Got it. Someone else was just talking about that filament. Was that you, Delmar? Yeah, you were talking about that, weren't you, a second ago? Hey, BBs. What is the price on that filament? I don't think I've used. Have I used their? Was it their PPACF I tested out? Maybe it was. Maybe it was their video I tested out for my video. I can't remember. Srytech does make a lot of the engineering filaments I end up testing out, but not all of them. Okay, so yeah, we've got this piece on. Now we're on this piece. This is going like this, and this is M210s, 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. $45 for the glass filled. Is it it's kilogram, right then, or 800 grams? It's really not bad, man. I remember when there wasn't a lot of companies making, we'll call them like advanced or engineering filaments, and spools were like anywhere from like 65 to like 80 bucks. So that is cool to see something like that going for $45. I mean, it's still obviously a lot more than just a standard spool of PLA, but it is still at $45 a lot more accessible than it was, you know, X amount of years ago when there wasn't a lot of companies making these filaments. I feel like Srytech in general is a pretty good balance of price to quality. Like, their filament quality has really been top notch, and the price seems just fair. The PPACF from Srytech was about, okay, 60 bucks for a kilogram. What are you printing it on? Is it a micron? I'm trying to remember my print profile with that. I think I printed it around 300 Celsius, but I can't remember if I ended up going higher than that for like better interlayer adhesion. I'm not remembering right now. Do you have a high temp printer, HardK, like a micron or something like that dedicated to high temp? Probably, I'm sure you have a Doom. Yeah, you must have like a Doom Cube or something like that that's at least insulated. Right now on Amazon, PPA, GF White, $46. Okay, so 50 bucks for the glass filled. Printed it on, got it on the Trident. Okay, that piece is in. Next, we have got, where is that piece? Is this guy, and it needs to be, like this. So that way this, yeah. So this piece should be furthest away. So that looks good, and this is same things, 4 screws. How long have you been building yours for, HardK? Like, how many hours do you think you have into it? I know it's hard to gauge that, especially if you have it blocked off over like weeks and weeks and you're multitasking. I'm just curious because I have no idea like what, I have no idea what to expect. $305 hot end and 90 seat bed, got it. Ooh, okay. We have a food / garden update. So the garden has largely bounced back from that hailstorm. It still looks like, it looks feral. The garden looks quite feral. I was really trying this year to keep things turned back and trellis and stuff. And after that storm and like me not touching the garden for a couple weeks, it just went absolutely bananas. But one thing I'm super excited about is that, so most of my seedlings did not make it, unfortunately. I tried doing soil blocks this year. I mentioned that instead of like plastic cell trays. And I don't know if I didn't water them correctly or what the deal is, but most things turned out pretty rough. And so I ended up getting, sorry, I'm just trying to make sure I'm doing the right orientation while I'm talking. I ended up getting a bunch of seed starts or seedlings for the pepper plants, and I only got 2 shishitos this year because last year I accidentally grew shishitos last year. I thought I was growing pepperoncinis and they were shishitos, and I basically quick pickled them using apple cider vinegar, and they were like phenomenal in salads and sandwiches. But this year I had a bunch of shishitos out there that I haven't like done anything with, and my parents were coming over. I'm like, I gotta do something with these. And I remember a buddy of mine said shishitos are delicious just to like sort of cook on the stovetop. So I found a recipe, super simple. I basically took the shishitos, washed them off, tossed them in olive oil, sprinkled a little bit of salt, threw them on a pretty dang hot pan for 8 minutes. I let it sit for like 2 minutes each time, then turned it so it got a little bit of black charring. Squeezed a little bit of fresh lemon juice, and then chopped up. I think I showed you guys. Yeah, we grew garlic this year for the first time. So chopped up finely garlic from the garden, and then cooked it with the garlic for another minute or 2, and then just ate them like that. Absolutely phenomenal. Like I cannot speak highly enough about how delicious shishitos are prepared like that. So I've decided that next year I'm probably going to go from 2 shishito plants to like at least 6. I want more of those peppers, especially knowing that they pickle really well. At least they quick pickle really well. It's a long build, but during the time I also built a micron. I did see that. I did see your basically scrap drawer micron. Yeah, that's my issue, is like, especially because I stream and like, you know, I'm talking a lot about shishitos and such. So I don't know how long things would take like a normal person. And that's a lot of my life. Like, if I'm editing a video, you know, I'll edit for a couple hours and I'll be in my zone. After that, I'm like, I need to take a break. So I'll go do some other random things, then put another hour. So I can't, I don't do things for extremely long blocks because I just kind of get antsy. So I have a really hard time, unless I, you know, set a timer of sorts to gauging how long certain things take. What is Igator? Will not be a good choice. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. Nice. Hey, Dougal. Hey, Ranch. I think I must have said hi, Ranch earlier. If not, hi, Ranch. Sorry about that. Can you guys hear music? I don't know if it's the fan playing or what. I don't hear anything. It looks like it's supposed to be playing. I'm going to change it to a little bit more. There we go. I can hear that. Music's fine. Cool. Awesome. Yeah, I think it's probably just, I don't usually have a fan playing, and the fan is, you guys hopefully can't hear it, but for me, it's fairly noisy. Okay, so now we are just attaching these two pieces together. So I think for this, I'm going to just basically, let me zoom out a little bit. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Okay, and let's go ahead and there we go. So I'm gonna orient this so that we are matching like that. Okay. All right, let me take a quick sip of water too. You can see my fan, sort of, kind of. Oh. Hey, nice. Yeah, what? I don't know what your Igator. I don't know if that's just a typo or what exactly that is that you're referring to. Okay, so let's make sure I do the screw sizes correctly. So these are M216s. M216s. Those are going here. Needs to pivot a little bit. There we go. Okay. Oh yeah, you're moving, right? Next, you should build a UNIMOG, a friend, like a 3D printed hydraulic excavator. That's one of the big ones you built, right? I feel like you brought that to an event. Was it last year, maybe? Yeah. Also, I saw where Lisa mentioned about Tennessee. I can't remember if we talked about it or if I just saw you post it online. But that's right. You're leaving Illinois, right? Did you already leave Illinois? Or are you in the process of leaving Illinois? And also, if you're leaving Illinois and going to Tennessee, did you retire or transferring jobs or just found a new job? Eagle door is a filament that we use to print bushings with. Interesting. Isn't there a material called... I guess I'm thinking of? No, I guess is a brand. I have not heard of... Hey, Stuart! I realize you're just looking at my legs, pretty much. Let me... What is it? I'm saying that. I don't know why that is not an easy. Igildor? Oh, it is Aegis. Okay, it is Aegis. Got it. Yeah, I know that Aegis makes some phenomenal stuff. I don't know... I know nothing about printing requirements. Turbo filaments, low speed, low slide, and bearing slide bushings, fast, low cost prototyping. Does it say anything about... okay, processing. Bed temp. So low bed temp. Nozzle, low nozzle. Interesting. Doesn't require an enclosure. Huh. I'm surprised I haven't seen this used more. I mean, it's not cheap. It's $70 a spool, but yeah, I know that. I mean, on certain printers, I think it was maybe with some of the old Taz printers, I'm pretty sure they were using Aegis bearings instead of linear, like ball bearings. Yeah, it's definitely not cheap. Yep, it's definitely. Prusa used to. Oh, bushings. Yeah, okay, so maybe it's Prusa I'm thinking of then. We purchased the land. Oh, nice. Plan is to prep the land over the next 4 years. Both wife and I will look for jobs, sell, move, and build. Awesome, man. That is so freaking cool. Prep the land for the next 4 years. Both wife and I move, sell. Got it. So you'll move out there before building. Right now, you'll just kind of get the land to where you want it. How much land did you guys get, out of curiosity? Like, what size? Hey, Jose. Hey, Jose. I don't know if you know or not, but, whatchamacallit? Milmage Pro release candidate is out, and I think we talked about this, or at least we knew that it was coming. I got to spend quite a bit of time doing V-carving on the CNC a couple nights ago, and it is awesome. It's so freaking cool. This will be a fun 3-month project. At least, man. Hey, Liz! Happy Wednesday. Thank you so much for the 40 months. Yeah, I wish I could show you guys. It's still on the CNC. I just used ply, 3/4 inch ply, but I wanted to make something for the boys. Let me see. Do I have a photo of it I can show? Yeah, I got a photo. So, let's see. So I just did the boys, the letters of their names. So this is all V-carved. So it's got, I know like this is just obviously a flat image, not nearly as exciting, but that is all, other than the letters having a flat base, like it's all 3D, like depth, like it's very rad looking. So because it's ply, there's a little bit of, there's hairs that need to get sanded down for sure, and there's a little bit of the gaps here and there. So I'm not sure how I plan on post-processing. I am very likely going to fill all of the engraving with either some kind of paint. And then I don't know if I'm just going to sand the top again and stain the top, or if I will just do like maybe a white paint on the outside and then like have a darker color on the inside. But it turned out awesome. It was a 2.5 hour job, so it was not a quick. They're pretty large, those blocks. They're, I think they're about 18 inches in height. What does that translate to? 300 millimeters. Is that about 450 millimeters tall by 300-ish millimeters wide? So, and I wasn't very aggressive. It was a 60-degree angled V-bit that I used for that. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Jose. I haven't actually done V-carving before, and once it started going, I was a little bit nervous. I felt like it was probably kind of ambitious for one of my first goes, but once it started going, I was just in love with it. I was like, this is quite magical. Quite magical. So, yeah. We got, oh my god, 5.5 acres. There'll be videos about us prepping the land. Spoiler, already got water ran and had some trees removed. That is insane, dude. That's the dream right there. We got a 1/4 acre on our lot here, and that was the smallest I was willing to take. But the dream was 1/2 acre to a full acre, mostly for gardening and like fruit trees and stuff like that. But we couldn't swing it with the cost of things at the time we were looking, and just the competitiveness of the market. So we'll stay here probably indefinitely. That's the plan. And then when very, 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 very far down the line, I told Aaron it would be cool to find I mean 1/2 acre or even acre with like a tiny home or something like that we can build. But that's like, so I'm 33. That's like 20 years from now plan. That's very cool though. Yeah, the V-carving is, thank you everybody. Yeah, I'm really happy with the V-carving. When I do end up painting it or whatever, I'll show you guys another one, but really happy with how it turned out. Okay, let's get back to the frame assembly. Oh my gosh, started even an hour and a half. I will, in a moment here, In a moment here, I will open up the giveaway. So we need M2 8s. I already took out the parts I need, so I just need to stop yapping and actually install these. Okay. Oop. Seems like that worked. Wait, what do you, I just made sounds but no words. Do you have plans, like, long-term? Do you guys plan on, like, growing crops? I mean, that's a lot of land. Is it more just, like, for the privacy of it? Or do you plan on, I guess you said you're going to record it all. You don't got to answer. You don't got to tell me everything. You maybe also are still deciding some of the details, but I'm just trying to think, like, I can't really fathom what that's like since we have a 1/4 acre, and I'm like, okay, if I multiplied that by 4 to get an acre, then multiplied that by 5, like, it's just a... There's so much land. Okay. Yeah, I will open the giveaway in just a sec here. Let me just get this, like, last few pieces on so both sides are attached, and then I'll get the giveaway open. Curious as to how many screws we've installed so far. I know there's a lot, but, like, I'm not gonna count. I'm not gonna count them right now, but it's a lot of screws. That is not tightened very well. That one seems to tighten quite a bit better. It's still a little spinny. Hopefully with everything else on this, we'll just kind of secure it in place. So last thing we've got are, is it 4 in the front? I think they're M216s. Yeah, M216s. There'll be a house 7x40. Nice. Big shop, shed, chicken coops, and possibly a guest house. That is so rad, dude. I'm excited to hear about the chickens. It's not something I ever had wanted, and then once I got really into gardening, was like, I want chickens, but we cannot have chickens here because of the HOA, unfortunately. It's not the end of the world to me, like, but if we were allowed to, I very much could see myself having chickens. Let me turn this a little bit so we can get more in focus. Yeah, that sounds wild. That'll be really fun to... I look forward to watching sort of the adventure of it for you guys. Chickens are a lot of work. One of my coworkers has chickens. He lives in Maine, which is where you live, Zombie. And I remember when he first started working for Lightburn, he was posting a lot of updates about the coop and stuff. And the chickens, no matter what he did or tried, would get somehow out and get eaten, or I don't know if it's coyotes or what he has that was working its way in, but just keeping them alive in certain areas seems really challenging from what I saw. And then I know obviously, like, you have to have some sort of heating in a lot of places, right? Because it gets too cold. You couldn't leave chickens out here all year round. You'd have to have some sort of a heater for the coop. But yeah, I don't know a whole lot about the because I know we can't have them here. I've just not looked into them more than it would be nice to have chickens. They need to be fenced or they do not last. Yeah, we don't have nearly, like, where I grew up in California, we had a pretty big hill next to our house, multiple hills actually, and so we had a lot of coyote issues. There was if you left your dog or cat out, well, that was definitely rolling the dice. Well, here we don't seem to have as much, so I'm not sure how bad predators would be here, but I'm sure there's other things. Chickens don't always work with a garden. They can eat plants and scratch up a mess. They're great creatures to have around. All characters. I know there's a few gardeners that I follow on YouTube, and they have chickens, and they use a lot of the, like, leaves and stuff like that from the garden to feed the chickens, or just things that we don't normally eat that is great for them. But I guess, yeah, I hadn't considered potentially the damage they could do to a garden. I mean, birds are like the biggest issue in my garden right now. I have a huge blackberry bush, and I think I've gotten, there was probably a total of a couple hundred blackberries, and I think I've gotten to eat maybe 10 or 15. The rest of them are either completely snatched as soon as they're ripe, or they get clawed at. And it's on a trellis, so it's not really easy to bird net in. And then we've got 2 raspberry plants that are probably now 6 foot by 6 foot, give or take. And same thing on those. Like, by the time I go out there, the birds have taken everything and they've just left me with like half-eaten raspberries. So for those ones, I did get some T-posts. So I do plan on T-posts. I've got some like whatever that like aerospace wire is called. It's like that weaved wire that's really strong. So I'm gonna use that to hold it all up, and then I will bird net that once the pollination's been done and the berries are starting to grow. But yeah, it's just a lot. Jack says hi, Dada. Aw, hi, Jack. It's definitely weird on a Wednesday not having Jackson come out here saying he wants to press a sound. Hey, buddy. I'll press a sound. I gotta press a sound for Jack. He's watching from Arizona. Let's see. He likes this one.
I wonder what's for dinner.
He likes that one, so press that one for him. Our niece has chickens. Keeping them safe from fox is a challenge. Yeah, that seems to be what I hear. I see coyotes all the time. I actually saw one this morning. Not used to seeing them during the day. I remember one time when I was working in Lake Forest, this was when I worked at Matter Hackers, there was a Del Taco there that I used to go to for lunch fairly often. And one time I pulled up to the like drive-through, you know, like the menu or whatever where you place your order. And in the bush, like right off to the side, it was just a coyote just kind of sleeping there during the day. It was wild. Yeah, I'm used to seeing them at night. When we went camping not last weekend, but the weekend before, on the first night we were there, Aaron and I, it was like middle of the night, Landon had woken up a few times, and we heard coyotes, like the cackling sound when they attack something. They basically make these like crazy screaming, howling sounds from like different directions, and it just sounds like chaos. And I think if I remember, like Aaron and me, like she was in her bed in the tent and I was in my cot. She had like the kids by us, and we just kind of looked up at each other and then went back down into our sleeping bags. Everyone says hi, Jack. Fun garden project. BirdNet Pie listens on the mic and tells you what birds have been heard. That's cool. There's a really cool app. It's a really cool app I was showed. I don't know if I have it anymore on this phone, but you just walk outside and it tells you the bird, like it listens, you know, and tells you right away what the birds are. I know that the 2 biggest pests I have in the garden seem to be robins. Robins are the worst. I like them, at least I did prior to this experience, but yeah, the robins are destroying things. And then we have, this is quail season. Quail's everywhere, and the raspberries, especially because the raspberries aren't on a trellis right now, they're just kind of laying flat. The quails just work their way through the garden and pick all the raspberries off. We do get a lot of mourning doves as well, but I don't see them usually eating as much in the garden. The robins are really just aggressive. Anyways, let me open the giveaway. Let me open the giveaway. Let's see. New URL. There we go. The app is Merlin. Oh, cool. Okay. Yep. Yeah, I'm quite sure it's the robins that are the #1 pest, followed by the quails. I remember the first year we moved into this house, and I started with just a few plants, and I had a couple blueberries, and I was so proud of them. And we were looking and said, "Oh, look, there's a robin in the backyard." And then it flew onto the fence and like looked at me, and I just see my blueberry, like its beak is just a little bit open, and my blueberry's in his mouth, and that was it. That was when I was like, you know, no way. We used to have 8 hens, kept them in a run because we also had foxes in the area. Love going and collecting the eggs each morning. Yeah, it seems awesome. Okay, I think I pinned the giveaway link in chat, so if I haven't, let me know, but it looks like it's there. If you have not hit the like button, please do. We got 69 viewers. Nice. Let's see if we can get to 50 likes. Let's aim for 50. For big tires. 50 likes for big tires. Okay. So, we have got this on. We got the other side on. What is that saying? Oh, yeah. Yeah, did that. Okay. 6x6 only. So this is what we're building now, is the extra parts for the 6x6. So this is the frame without the 6x6, and now we're going to extend, I think, on this side more to it. So pretty large frame. Okay, so I can zoom in a little bit here. Get my hand right here. There we go, roughly in focus. Okay, so it says, check the part orientation. So there should be 2 holes on top, 4 holes on top right there. And then this is going into this block. This looks like it is mirrored, going in like that. Heart K, if you're in chat, are you doing the sorry, I'm trying to multitask here and doing it poorly. Are you doing the 6x6 or 4x4? And are you also doing the like camper shell? Okay, so I'm gonna just turn this like this. Robins usually eat worms, so they're always looking for stuff in the ground. Yeah, I did a bunch of the like foil tape stuff and not windmills. What are they called? The oh come on, what are they called? Pinwheels. Pinwheels. The birds seem to care less. 6x6. 6x6. Okay, yeah, same build as me then. Yeah, I think the camper shell looks awesome. I just know that like the length of time it's gonna take to build this, adding that camper shell is like, it's just, I don't know. It seems like a lot. And it also, from what I saw, adds a bunch of weight to it. So I just want to, I don't know. I just want to take the flatbed out and drive it around. Plus, I feel like with kids, being able to throw something on the back of it and drive it around, like they'll get a kick out of that too. Heck, I'll get a kick out of that. So it's MOG season, haven't you heard? There are some pretty cool bed mods that look pretty cool. I saw one mod because I was on the Facebook. I joined the Facebook group because I was trying to see, I think, what other filaments people were using for different parts of the build because I didn't see much of anything. And I saw someone that has added, I think it's maybe servo driven, but basically like a ramp that I think is they can control with a remote where it like goes backwards and then puts the ramp down so you can drive like a car or something onto it and then flips back up. That looked sick. I did see that and thought like that looks wicked cool, but I haven't looked much further than that. Okay, so the holes need to align. Yep. 4 more and 2 16s. Robins are very territorial, especially in the spring during the nesting season. They are very belligerent. Huh, interesting. Yeah, we didn't have a lot of them where I grew up. I'm sure at my parents' cabin they do, but they're everywhere here. I still think they're like really pretty birds. So I assume there's, like most birds, a lot of different varieties, but the one we have is, I think it's called the American Robin. That basically just has like an auburn chest. There's a canvas top one that you might, okay, got it. It's like a community mod version of it. I need to get my printer working well enough to print one myself. Yeah, this is a lot of printing. You definitely want something that is dialed in. Otherwise, you're gonna waste a lot of filament and just not enjoy it. I mean, I'm not saying that won't happen to me. I've printed everything so far on the Core 1 Plus, which is what I plan on doing for this full build. But I also have not used any of the carbon fiber parts, and I'm curious to see how difficult it is to get screws into those parts. Some years ago, I had a problem with the Robin attacking my trucks. Holy cow, because he believed he was... Ah, that's funny. That's funny. Yeah, I could... Say it to my face, man. That's silly. Yeah, I haven't noticed any real aggressive behavior from them. I mean, they seem pretty skittish. Usually I see them in the, from the kitchen window in the backyard or like on the neighbor's roof or something like that. They make a pretty loud noise if I'm not mistaken. I don't know, maybe if that's their mating call or what, but I feel like I've heard them make some pretty loud noises. One guy on Facebook group did a complete CNC, holy cow, all Metal Gear strat as well, pretty cool. He was selling them for I think $100 each, but he's not in the US. That doesn't sound bad. I mean, it's $100, but like for CNC parts, that CNC gears especially, it doesn't sound like a horrible deal. UK robins are very different to US. They'll come and sit on your shovel while you're trying to dig the garden. Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, the ones we've got here are not like that. They are quite skittish. Yeah, I don't know if the ones in different parts of the world look very different, but this is basically what the ones we have look like. We've got a like really pretty auburn chest, but yeah, they're they love themselves some blueberries. Tell you that much. Definitely love themselves some berries. I liked them until I started gardening, and now I don't know. Don't love them nearly as much. Okay, so now we need to attach these plates, it looks like. So we've got 2 of these plates. And does orientation matter? They look like they are mirrored, so I'm gonna say no, it probably does not matter. And we need M216s. It's like 8 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. I live in Portland, Oregon. We have more frozen pigeons. Yeah, I grew up in California, like pigeons, at least in Southern California, like pigeons were everywhere. I don't know that I've ever seen a pigeon in Idaho. The equivalent, I'm actually gonna grab, because of the angle I have to be at, I'm gonna grab my bar stool really quick here. The thing we have that I thought was pigeons at first, it's just basically like replaced pigeons here, is mourning doves. We have mourning doves everywhere. Kind of the same size as pigeons, just very different colors. Instead of that sort of like gray with maybe a hint of blue that pigeons have, they're just sort of like white/tan. Okay, yeah, sit for a second. Ooh. Okay, so let me bring you guys a little bit closer. Oops, hold on. Got the electrical cable caught up. Let's see if that works. There we go. Okay. So we are, yeah, installing 4 of them. So let me get these started. American robin, those are the ones. Their favorite food is, okay, so you have the same ones? This camera angle sucks. Sorry, everybody. Why is it so rough? There we go. Let's try that. That's a little better. They're not the smartest birds in the avian kingdom. Oh, it was just the frame for $100. Got it. I did pull the files into Fusion and made a version I was going to try. Instant cut design, but it ends up like $50. No, yeah. I mean, the Shapeoko should be able to do aluminum. I just haven't done it yet. I also have an older Nomad 3 that's in like basically in new condition that should be able to do aluminum as well, but I just haven't really had the bandwidth to do it. It would be fun to get set up to be able to do aluminum well. Are you gonna build one of the Cascades? We have those here too. They're mocha in color. The mourning doves? Oops. Caught it. Got it, yeah. $100 to not have to print and screw this all together seems worth it. Oh, is the frame... Wait, on the CNC frame pieces, is it a single piece of aluminum, or did they like break it apart into multiple? Yeah, a single piece of aluminum would be pretty sweet. I didn't even think about that, especially given the length of it. That seems cheap for $100. Yeah, given the size of the frame, that seems... Hey, Benny. Single piece. That's cool. Yeah, that doesn't seem... I mean, I don't know how long that would take to machine, but I have to imagine, like, it's probably quite a bit of of machine time. All right, 4 more screws. For anyone that's just joined in, giveaway is open. Our Polymaker giveaway, so if you're interested, get in on that. We started a little bit late, so there's probably still another like 15 more minutes. Gotta figure out some food after this. I've been eating oatmeal the last couple days. It's been fine for breakfast, but by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, that oatmeal's doing a lot of heavy lifting. So 1 solid frame rail. You still need the printed parts. Oh, got it, to connect them, but just the main rails for a single piece aluminum. Yeah, it's still cool. That would be a lot of fun, just to, because some of these pieces are like really set up to where they would be easy to CNC if you were set up or mill out of aluminum. I wonder, I assume if you wanted to, you could probably remove quite a bit of material as well. Like if the design is intended to be used with printed parts, then surely with aluminum you could remove quite a bit of material and still have the, you know, the rigidity needed. Here we go. Why are we not? What are we doing? Come on, guy. What are you doing? There we go. I think I got it. Let's see. Yeah. Definitely need to charge this guy after this build, but I've never ran this thing till it's died, and I will say that it seems like it's been pretty capable. Okay. Laser cut from 3mm thick wood. What, the frame? All right, that is done. Frame assembly, yeah, we did that. Okay, so now we're attaching them. Oh yeah, it is getting pretty dang big now. This is going like this. So yeah, eight more screws, I think. Yeah, 8 more screws. Wow, adding the 6x6 frame add-on really takes it from like, yeah, it's pretty big, to like, oh wow, it's very big. Just since you picked some of those frames. Oh, cool. Yeah, I'll take a look. I'll show them on stream too. What is going on? Ooh, yeah, those are pretty. Yeah, I'll show this. Those look real nice. That's so cool, man. I wonder what kind of machine they've got just to cut out that many. Like, it's got to be a pretty serious CNC. I wonder if they work in, I would assume anyone, yeah. I doubt it's like a hobby Shapeoko type machine. This feels like it's probably a more industrial machine. Oh God, that's beautiful. Did they anodize it? It doesn't look like it's just painted. I mean, it could be. It's hard to tell from this photo, but it almost looks like it's anodized. That is gorgeous. Yeah, that's a sick. That's a really. Thanks for sharing that, man. That's freaking awesome. All right, let me turn the camera a little bit. That's the thing I've wanted to try too, just see what it's like to try to anodize something at home. That's a really big part to anodize though, so like I said, I have to assume that they probably work in some sort of a fabrication machine shop. I think it's starting to slow down a little bit, the screwdriver. I can't tell. I mean, these are M216, so they're definitely the longer of the screws, but it feels like it's taking a little bit longer to drive them in. I just, I don't know if it's me. I don't know if it's just me or if it's the, wait, what just happened? Wait, did I put? No, I'm okay. Had a brain fart moment there. Where am I? It could be done on a large CNC router from a thick aluminum plate. Yeah, I don't doubt. Like, I think that something like the Shipoko I have is 33 inch by 33 inch, and I think it could probably make those parts. I just the quantity that they had makes me, this doesn't feel right. Hold on. I assume that, yeah, it's not right. So this should be flipped like this, and then this should be like that. So the holes are on the top. Yep. Because of the quantity that they have, I have to think that they've got access to something. I just don't see someone running that many. I don't see somebody running that many frames like that on sort of like a home CNC. I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I have my doubts. My doubts. All right, let's do. You're gonna see elbow for a sec here. I did lotion my elbow, so nobody can judge me for having dry elbows. Like, I feel like every time my elbow's on camera, somebody in chat's like, man, you need lotion. All right. Damn it, you guys can't see again. I'm just gonna go, we're gonna go big. We're just gonna go big, and I'll stand up for a sec here. CNC mill doesn't have enough X travel for that type of part. But I mean, like, companies like Tormach have to make machines that are big enough, right? I see what Steve was talking about earlier when he's talking about concerns with like using this this particular electric screwdriver for the parts for PLA. The screws, especially the 16s, they do get pretty warm. Hopefully it's fine with PETG, but they do get pretty warm, and I could see that potentially causing problems with PLA printed parts. Talking about a large, got it, CNC router here at least 4 feet square. Okay. I think this is the last parts of the frame. There's no more printed parts at least left for the frame assembly, so I'll hold this up in a second here so you guys can see it in all of its glory. But yeah, I am definitely going to have to figure out. I think that next week I will remove the quartz and then probably push the keyboard in forward so I can work closer to me. That's very likely what I'll do. Yeah, check this out. This is the frame. It is a very, very large frame. Yeah, just using such large CNC mills for the type of work is unnecessarily expensive. Those machines are 5 to 7 axis machines. Yeah, that's, I mean, most of what I've seen on them are more small detailed parts versus just large, like flat parts like those other CNC parts are. Yeah, this looks great. This looks awesome. Curious to see, I think next we go right into the drive shaft. Oh no, there is another. Oh no, this is the 4x4. Okay, so we don't, yeah. You can use the printed stands. Yeah, so next week is going to be gearbox, and that is going to be pretty dang complex. So, we will see how it goes. I'm excited, but I wonder if maybe I should try to just put some screws in a couple of the PCCF parts just to see, make sure that I can, or maybe we should just do it live together. But yeah, this is a long, there's a long part of the build, so we'll just do as much as we can and see how far we get. I'll try to space out the parts a little bit so that way I at least sort of know what I need for each step, and I'm not searching for parts because all the PCCF parts are just in one bag. I did separate one thing I did, which hopefully is a little bit helpful, is every time there was a plate of gears, I put them, oops, it's not these pieces. I put them in their own little Ziploc snack bag. So that way, at least, based off how the build's been so far, everything seems to be printed in the order it gets assembled. So hopefully by having them in, you know, various bags like this, I won't have to at least search all bags at the same time. I can just, one bag, once that's gone, then I'll move on to the next bag. So we'll see, but I'll definitely space some stuff out. For the frame, I wasn't too worried. I knew that there wasn't enough pieces and they were large enough that it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But yeah, once we move on to the drive shaft, it's gonna be different. It's crazy, it's so big. All right, let's do a couple more minutes here and then we will close up the giveaway and do the drawing for that. Need some more water. Yeah, we'll say 2 minutes and then I'll close up the giveaway. We've got 51 people in, so if you want to get in and you haven't, now's the time to do so. Nice, we got 49 likes. Thank you, everybody. Our target was 50. We just need one more person, and then we've hit the target. Also, yeah, there's 75 people watching. I know not everybody is actively in front of their screen. Some people have it on like background, but if you do want to get into the giveaway, only 51 out of the 75 have entered, so just 2 minutes left, then I'm going to pull it. Also, there should be, unless something goes terribly wrong, there should be a video on the main channel this Saturday. It will be a review of the Creator 5. It's a combo of the Creator 5 and Creator 5 Pro, which I normally would never do. I don't think I've ever combined 2 machine reviews into one. The reason why it happened was I knew I was reviewing the Creator 5 because I had agreed to it, and I didn't realize they were sending the Creator 5 Pro as well. And so the specs between the two printers is like 95% the same. The only difference is the Pro is fully enclosed, has a active heated chamber that can get up to 65 Celsius, has an auxiliary fan, and has an internal filter. And then I just realized I didn't include this in the video, but there is a little bit more insulation on the like trim and panels and stuff like that. Well, of course there's more insulation, but I guess they actually put some on the frame versus leaving it bare. But outside of that, the printers are identical, so it made sense to do them as a 2-in-1. But it's a pretty long review. I think the end video will be about 26 minutes. I just for fun, every time I'm done with a script, I take it from the program I use to write it and paste it into this word counting app, and it's 3,700 words, so it's a pretty damn long video. Longer than I like. For me, like 8 to 13 minutes roughly is my sweet spot in video length, but for reviews, I can't do it. I can cut, if I cut all the specs, I could do it. If I cut all the specs, because literally, like, it ends up being where like 40% of the video is running through the specs, but I don't just run through the specs. I also try to cover some additional things I've noticed, and it feels important. So I, at this point, haven't convinced myself to cut it, but it would shorten the videos greatly and simplify them. But I just, yeah, I haven't. It's sort of the formula I've followed since the beginning, and I know a lot of people like consistency, and so I think I'll probably just stick with it. All right, we are doing this. We got 5 more people in the giveaway for a total of 56. I'm officially pulling it. Wow, we got 59 likes. Holy cow, I just asked for 1 and we got 10 more. Thank you guys. Thank you everybody. Okay, let's go ahead and remove the giveaway. What are we doing here? We're going remove. Okay, and unpin. Okay, I can't unpin. Oh, there we go. There we go. Wait, there we go. Unpin. Okay, so if you're in, you're in. If you're not, then, well, you can try next week. So let's do this. Gergman, you had 30 minutes, man. I said it at the beginning. I said it halfway through and like in the 6 minutes. I'm sorry, buddy. I just pulled it. I'll do it. It'll be back next week. We'll be back next week. Wait, that didn't work out. Why did it only grab... 2 more people got in. 2 more people got in. All right. There should be 50. Let me see. Yeah, 57. Okay, this is everybody. All right. We are here. I'm putting a cat tree. Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, there'll be more. If I was doing like a different giveaway that isn't our regular one, then I'd probably be like, all right, we'll do an extension or something like that. I would Steve it a little bit, where Steve like kind of extends the time based off of people still entering in. But yeah, for this one, we're just gonna go for it. So for anybody that has not been here for one of these giveaways, they are provided by Polymaker, which is awesome. Polymaker is largely a filament company. They make some other peripherals, but yeah, a massive, awesome filament company with everything from your very basic PLA up to their Fibron line, which has all sorts of engineering materials. I just actually picked up some more for, what did I get? I got PETG RC, I think it's recycled carbon fiber. I got PET CF17. That's it down here. So, but yeah, they make all sorts of awesome materials and allow us to give away a spool of filament every single week. Well, if you're in the US or Canada and a couple other countries they've expanded to, and you win, you'll get a $35 gift card, and everywhere else you get to pick a spool of filament off their website up to $35, I think it's US in value. Just be on the lookout. You'll get an email from me within 24 hours, and that will have a link to a form as well as your unique code that you'll need to actually submit that form. So massive shout out to them. If you do need to pick up filament and you want to check them out, there's a link in the description. If you do make a purchase, part of it does support the channel. Certainly not required by any means, but appreciated if you're already purchasing filament. It doesn't cost anything extra, and it does help. I mentioned before that I dropped my camera when I was recording and snapped my lens in half, and it was a $700 lens, and so I was able to use the affiliate that had just been sitting in there to help pay for a repair service. So it does help. It definitely helps. Anyways, how many times are we shuffling? I'm thinking 36 times. We're doing a 6. We're doing the 6 wheels, and so we'll do 6 by 6, 36. We're gonna do 36. I'm calling it. I don't ever get to call the number. I always go with somebody else's. We're gonna do 36. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, good luck, everybody. In 3, 2, 1. Here we go. ASM 380. Collie, you were very close to winning, buddy. I thought I was landing on you. It's hard to tell whether sometimes it's going to roll over or not. Let's see. There's the right one. Cheers. AFM 380. Congratulations. You are this week's winner. I think you're a first-time winner. I don't recognize the name. Could be wrong. It's been years of giveaways, but I feel like usually I do remember. So just be on the lookout for an email from me. I will get that over to you probably this evening because I'll be in front of the computer pretty late editing tonight. So thank you once again to Polymaker and everybody for entering in. We will be streaming same time next week. Maybe we'll stream longer next week. If things go okay with the mini split install, Aaron and the boys will still be in Arizona, so it'll just be me here. And meaning I don't have swim Wednesday. Yes, no. Gymnastics is Wednesdays. I don't have gymnastics for Jackson. So if the AC is working, if it's 100 degrees like it is today, I probably won't want to go more than 2 hours because it just gets really hot. But the mini split's working. Maybe we'll try to go a little bit longer. So everybody, please keep your fingers crossed that it does go well. I would appreciate that. And yeah, I will see you guys. I'll see you guys next week. Thank you everybody for all the new members, gifted memberships, and the membership renewals, as well as the donations. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, safe, cool week. And I will catch you guys next time. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I feel like I'm forgetting something that I was supposed to say. I think we've covered it all. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Enjoy it. Nice. I hope you get a couple more days of vacation. I appreciate it. If I do run into any serious issues, I will hit you up. But I'm feeling pretty good about the process, and we'll see how I feel once I actually am, cutting